Peace, family. Peace, peace. I know I never go live in the evening. It's one of those days. I have to speak to my sea stars. Yes, I do. I'm gonna drink some tea until some of you check in. I know I generally don't do live this late, and I plan to do it now. So check on in. Some of you are probably out enjoying the evening as you should be. I would hope that you're not sitting here waiting for my live. But I am doing live, so hopefully some of you will be able to, that's if the connection might be a little bad. Hey Zoe, how are you? Peace. I won't make this too long. You know, sometimes I'm long-winded and I end up talking to you for a long period of time. Hello, hello. Hello, my sea stars. Peace, peace, peace. You're joining me on a Saturday evening. Oh, I love this. Peace, infinite bliss. To all my sea stars. Oh, peace. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Everyone's checking in. Check in. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Peace, everyone. Greetings. Infinite bliss on this wonderful Saturday evening. Oh, my sea stars. I see it's all my beautiful sea stars. I want to talk to you this evening. It's very important. So I'll wait for most of you to check in. I wish I had some music for you, but it's not. Kind of, I have a little dinner thing going on in a little while. I plan to host. So I wanted to talk to you before I go off for my evening and enjoy it as well. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry, I'm really low. Am I really low? Okay. Peace, peace, peace. Fleur Brun in the house. Okay, so family, my sea stars. We are in the middle of a war. And it's really a war right now with the patriarchy. And if you don't know now, you know. And I need you to be so mindful. Hey, Jose, peace, peace. So mindful that so much is going on, but it is divine. As we are making, as many times we have lost, we are winning, we are having a lot of wins, okay? You're cleaning, oh, I love it. Relaxing and cleaning, keeping your home divine. Okay, so listen, sea stars. I just wanted to talk to you and just tell you that I need you to really, really, really love yourself beyond comprehension. Love your sacred space, you know, your Stargate, your Yoni space. It's very, very important. That Stargate is the most important Stargate on this planet at this point. And the Stargate I'm talking about, the masterful Vortex, your divine sacred space between your legs, your Yoni. I know them. I hope it's adults in here, and it won't be too graphic. I'm not going to keep it too graphic, so don't worry about. Excuse me. I get a little husky in my voice when I start talking a little naughty, but this is a serious conversation. Many of these beings out here are utilizing, whether it's with your own consent or not, they're utilizing your sacred space between your legs as a graveyard. Yes, they are. Some of you are giving them permission. These beings, and I just call them beings because there's a host of them. It's not just one, there are many that are using your vortex between your legs, your divine vortex, your sacred space in between your legs, which is the most important commodity on this planet at this time, to depreciate and suppress you. And you have to know that every choice that you make to partner or mate with someone, that every time that they release their energy within you, if their intent is not to create life, then what will occur is the opposition, which is to create death. I know it seems so serious and it seems so dramatic, but it is that. And that is why there are so many abortion clinics all over the United States and other countries. That is why they create birth control to allow you to mindlessly allow these beings who are lower than you, who are depreciated in many ways, to just release themselves in you and create graveyards between your legs and to really depreciate your stargates. You have to be mindful. You have to be masterful. You have such a beautiful gift to bring forth life. That is why they negate us out of the Bible. That's why it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and they forget, and they negate the female in all doctrines. The female is the one entity that is always negated and exmade out of it. That's why when you go to churches, it's mostly males who are head of the churches. That's why even when you go into a restaurant, most of the chefs are males. It is purposefully done to keep you suppressed, to keep you from utilizing your power, and you need to be mindful of that. And why I came to you on a Saturday night, my sea stars. Because many of you are about to partake in that ritual. Many of you are about to partake in having perhaps masterful sex, unioning, mating, whatever you call it, and you are going to allow one of these lower field beings to release his energy in you just to depreciate yours. We have to start to take back our power. We are the, what am I drinking? Oh, I'm actually drinking ginkgo biloba tea. All right, yeah. I'm drinking this. I was going to have some mango, I was actually going to have some mango ginger tea, but I decided to have ginkgo biloba tea. Hold on 1 minute. I gotta turn off something. Hold on. My phone is always active. Oh, hold on 1 second. I know, I'm doing live, so I can't really, during live, you kind of just get a wind of what's going on around me, okay? So, listen, I know I'm coming to you so last minute, yes, and that young lady, oh, we talked about it on the show about the young lady. I don't want to get into that. You already know they're harvesting you, ladies. That young lady who was missing, she was harvested, that is my opinion. They are utilizing you. Who's utilizing you? Sometimes the person that you trust the most, and it's the person that you need to trust the least. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Circle Boy. Stop letting these undivine, lower field patriarchy between your legs. They're utilizing you. They are utilizing you to extend their own life and to take away from yours. We have to take back our yonis. I know. I hope I'm actually illuminating your Saturday nights, because I felt like if I wait for you to have, because usually the weekends is when most people like to engage in sexual activities. Some of you like to engage in it every day. It's fine during the weekdays, what have you. But I felt like this was really important for you to master your mating and mate with a higher consciousness. And all this to say, yes, Yoni power. Laconia's like Yoni power. Celibacy. Listen, I can respect celibacy, but we are here to partake in the matrix. We are. And if we're going to partake in a matrix, we shouldn't be fearful of sex. I mean, we have to be mature enough to have sex masterfully, right? So we shouldn't be afraid to have sex. No, I'm not telling you to stop having sex. I'm telling you to master your yoni. I'm telling you to protect your yoni. I'm telling you to protect the source that comes between your legs. That's all I'm telling you. That Stargate is the most important Stargate on this planet. And if you are not guarding it, then there are other beings who will utilize it for bringing forth other beings that are lower. And yes, there are children here that are being brought in that are divine and beautiful and starseeds, but just as many of those as coming in, they're bringing demonics in too. And that has to do with some of the choices that you're making. Yes, he could be handsome, right? He can have a masterful, beautiful wand. He can make you come in every way possible, but is he divine in his consciousness? Does he build for his nation? Is he a great steward to the planet? Does he respect the divine? Does he respect you? Does he honor you? Does he respect your mother? Does he see you as a mother? Is that something that he sees and projects in you? If those are not things that you are having conversations or you know with this being that you're partaking with sexually, I would ask that that you kindly remove yourself from that scenario. There are plenty of divine men. I meet them, I talk to them all the time, and yes, they are divine. They are healthy, they are responsible, they have integrity, they are great stewards to the planet, they are phenomenal pillars in their community. They are if they're not fathers, they're wonderful role models. I see them, they exist, they are everywhere. And because of that, you have to take some personal responsibility. And no, not because we're in heat, because we do get in heat. And I talked about that before, where many of us go into cycles when we are more, I talked about my own mating. I tend to go into heat during spring, and my mating process usually goes through to October. And it's when I'm seeking an appropriate male to mate with, and hopefully for long term. But if it does not work out, then I understand, I overstand my body. And that being said, if you are not masterfully having sexual liaisons, then you shouldn't be having sex right now until you're able to master that, and until you're able to engage with a wonderful, divine, lighthearted, wonderfully, holistic being like yourself. And of course, if you have, if you're stuck in the root chakra, and we have to take personal responsibilities for our own thing. Someone's asking me about porn. Porn is they utilize porn to feed off of you. There are beings, that's why porn is free everywhere. If you notice that you can get free porn on your phone, your computers, it's because they have beings around you that you don't see, shadow beings, some of you call them shadow beings sometimes, they feed off of you sexually. So every time you have an orgasm, there are beings that are fielding around you right before you're about to orgasm, and they feed off of you. And usually there's satanic sex connected to the porn sites. So if you watch porn, just know that you have demonics feeding off of you. If you're okay with that, that's your personal opinion. People, I don't understand why you would engage in watching porn unless you can't masterfully have sexual liaisons that can match that frequency. I mean, if you're having healthy sex, porn is unnecessary. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it 1,000, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to judge you. People watch porn, but just know what it is. And also, sea stars, you should be claiming your orgasms. You shouldn't be having mindless orgasms. You should, every time before you have an orgasm, claim it. And if the gentleman you are engaged with and he's healthy, you can ask if you may partake in some of the energy of his orgasm and feed off of that. We feed off of males' orgasms, whether you know so or not. But if you're not claiming it and you're unaware sexually while engaging, while you're engaged in sexuality, then you're just mindlessly releasing energy that other beings are fielding off of and feeding off of. And if you're doing having sexual in a very depraved way, or very lower chakra, like that kind of like that drive, that savage kind of sexuality, then you're really having beings latch onto your. Probably you have beings onto your auric field that are driving you to have that kind of primal sexual drive. You know what I mean? So, no, you're not doing it wrong. You can't change what you don't know. Yeah, succubus and incubus will make you, drive you to go into all kinds of sexual states that you would not normally do if you were healthy. That's all. So it's just claim your orgasm. And someone said, how do you claim your orgasm? It's yours. Claim it in your head, say it out loud. But also when you're engaging sexually with your males, my sea stars, you can also pull from them. You normally do it anyway without you knowing it, but you can kindly ask them. Don't ever take from someone without asking for their permission. And if he's a healthy male, it should be an equal exchange. It should be a wonderful cylindrical exchange between the two of you, so that one is not being fed off of more and that they're depreciated and depleted. Because actually after sex, divine, if you know any better, you shouldn't be tired. Most women who have masterful sex, especially if they know their energy field, actually get more energy after having sex with male. Okay, two females, someone asked me about same sex, two females generally don't get that pull and push. They have like a wave in their energy when they're engaging sexually one another, two females. And males, I'm assuming it might be the same. I don't know between males. I can only speak on things that I know because obviously I'm a female. So listen, if you're going to have, I know I'm speaking, but they are utilizing your yonis, they're utilizing your stargates for graveyards. Every time they come inside of you, he is releasing, death squads in you because there's no intention to ever spark life. And if that's the case, why would you allow to engage with a being that would feel okay? If he does not see you as a potential mother, you should not be engaged sexually with him at all. And same likewise, if you don't see him as a potential father, and if that union created life, that it would still be accepted, then that's something you shouldn't engage with. That is not a being you should have sex with. I know I'm messing up a lot of people's evenings tonight, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. I decided to make this video. It was bugging me a little bit that our beautiful, like I say, I talk to so many of our sea stars, and I talk to everyone from every part of the planet, on the surface, galactics, and inner beings. And I notice with our sea stars, especially our young, beautiful green sea stars, they need a matron to guide them. And I'm not saying I'm the end all and know all, but I've lived on the planet long enough, and I've engaged with males to the point where I understand their general drives. And I just want to tell you that you are the master of yourself. I want you to really I'm sorry. I want you to really start to harness your orgasmic energy, organ energy. The organ is your orgasm. And once you learn to master that, you will learn to not engage or refrain from engaging with beings that have nothing to offer, and you don't want to extend their bloodline. Any male who does not want to have a child and who's engaged in regular sexuality, he is a death dealer. That's what he is. He will encourage you to abort the child. He will also keep releasing sperm within you that will die, and you will have death between your legs every time you engage with that being. If he does not have the propensity to be a father, or to be or to have that drive to want to engage and to create life with you, I would say refrain from him. That's all. And I'm not talking about people who've had children already, couples who are, I'm not saying to have mindlessly bring children into the world. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying to masterfully engage with one another responsibly. If that is not a time that you want to have children, then you probably shouldn't be partaking with beings that you would not want to have children with. You know what I mean? So, there's other forms of bonding other than allowing a wand between your Stargate and then creating a child that you really did not intend to do, and whose bloodline you did not, the gentleman's bloodline you did not want to extend. I just want you to be mindful this evening, my beautiful sea stars, because you're all lovely. And like I say, I see you out there enjoying yourselves as you should, and I want you to have purposeful mating, okay? And I really want you to know the type of beings that are out here. As much as I am encountering wonderful divine males who have such wonderful intentions, I do acknowledge that there are those who do not. And there is a plethora of them. And, as I told you before, many of them are under the stance of polygamy. And even if they don't say they're polygamous, their actions are very polygamous, meaning that they are taste testers of everything and anything. And because of that, they're also picking up demonics and incubus, a succubus, and they will pass their STDs, sexual transmitted demons, to you via your Stargate. And if you decide to have a child with one of these challenged beings, you might have an attachment of those generational demons to your child. Is it worth it? So why not just wait and open yourself to a divine field where you are more receptive to those who are more of your same frequency, and only get with someone who has mastered themselves enough to be responsible sexually, to be responsible in all ways, and that when you make divine love, when you engage with each other sexually, it is with purpose, it is with a drive, and also you are able to utilize the sexual organ energy that you get between the two of you, whether it's exchanging evenly. One may need more than the other, and you ask if you're allowed to have that, if you're allowed to feed. I don't want to say feed because it sounds very vampiric. It is, but we're vampires to a certain extent. We do feed off each other's energy. If you ask if you can partake in feeding off of or having some of that energy extra to allow you to heal. You can manifest each other. Hold on. We have, yes. There we go. Thank you. Oh, there we go. we one of those beings that you should probably, yes I did. One of those beings that you should not be extending your bloodline with was just blocked off of this live stream. I don't have to repeat what he said. He mispronounced it anyway. I appreciate him calling my lineage, but I wish he could spell a little better. See, this is when inbreeding is a problem, and that's a bloodline that we should not be extending, That was a low frequency. That's called challenged genetics, and that's why we need to breed purposefully, so that we bring higher beings onto the earth, that we bring beings that are here, that we bring star seeds that are here to heal the planet. Oh goodness. Another one. Sorry. I've learned the art of getting, removing comments. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. The magic of YouTube. Oh, so quick. I always criticize others for, okay. I always criticize others for blocking, but it is a necessity when they say such deprived things. And I love for you to see that kind of depraved behavior, because that should make you fear having sexual liaisons with lower field beings. That's what happens when two people come together and create beings, either by inbreeding or by having sex while on drugs and too much alcohol. It's not judgment, that's just observation. So, no shade, no shade. Anyway, so I'm sorry, but that's all I'm saying. You guys are going out tonight, look beautiful. I know you see stars will look divine. You look like edible fruit when you go out. I know you do. And just masterfully pick your mates. And there's nothing wrong with having sex. You can have sex. And sex, remember, I was talking about sex as far as, you can mindfully have sex. And I don't believe in exchanging too many sexual liaisons with too many different people. But if you meet someone of same or similar frequency, why not engage with them and do it with consciousness and really really have fun. and also when you pick your mate, ask those questions. You should not just be going and shaking your tushies tonight. Like I like to dance. I like to dance. And I'm going to have a nice evening this evening. But I like to dance, and you always ask the person, like, what's your blood type? I know it seems, people have asked me before, are you a vampire? No, I just want to know your blood type because I want to know if you're compatible with me. And you can ask them what their astrological sign is to see if they're matching frequency to you. You ask them how they feel, are their parents still together? You ask the questions that you feel are necessary, it's almost like hiring someone. It's almost like you're going through a interview process to see if this person would be appropriate to even have as a possible, potential parent to your child. And that's how you should engage with them. If you don't know, how and it's not a judgment, because you know how I get down. If you don't know their blood type, you don't know their sign, and you don't know their genetic base, I think you're putting yourself in harm's way sexually. And we've talked about the O's being the OGs, those are the hubs of the bloodline, and the subsidiaries of the O's are the ABs, the A's, and the B's. Whether it's the Rus negative or Rus positive, that you should stay along your Ruses as far as that. Remember, a Rus positive woman can give birth to a Rus negative and have a healthy baby, but a Rus negative woman cannot give birth to a O negative child or a negative Rus without the help of a shot. So just know that you should mindfully, I'm not saying go to a club and be like, hey, what's your blood type? That would seem a little creepy, but you shouldn't be going to clubs fielding out people to have sex with that night either. It says something about your consciousness, and it also says something about your lack of discernment and also your lack of self-esteem, because you should want better for yourself or your potential children or your bloodline. you know. So that's anyway, I'm not going to keep you long. I just wanted to say, don't allow anyone to utilize your vortexes as graveyards. Okay, don't let these males mindlessly release themselves in you with no intention to ever do anything better or to create life with you, or that exchange should be more positive. So, oh, Nunye, congratulations, Mama. You just had a beautiful baby. I saw the baby. Now that's a beautiful union. And I watched that, and you look lovely, and the baby looks really beautiful. Congratulations. I love when starseeds are born. I love when you're, when you're mindful about the things that you do. Because again, people say, why do you care that what people do and what kind of children? Because my children have to live with your children on the planet. So I do care, because we do touch each other. So my win, your win is my win. And your healthiness is my healthiness. And for that reason, I will always care about what's outside of me as far as the people that I come across or speak to. So RH is monkey blood. Who's just said that? Please know you do know I worked in a laboratory, right? So do know your signs before you come at someone who knows what they're talking about. There's certain things that I may not hold true, but I did study genetics, heredity. It's one of the things I studied in my youth. I say my previous life, but I did. So just be mindful of someone who's you can question certain things as far as things that may not be legitimate, but I do know that. So anyway, so I hope you have a wonderful evening. I know this was a short video. What if you don't know their blood type? You should know their blood type. Like I said, back in the days, remember back in the days our parents, well at least my parents, had to get their blood type before they got married. A lot of people don't do that nowadays, and a lot of people don't even know each other's blood types and they're dating. 1 plus 3, oh, Cadillac. Yeah, a lot of you are dating and you don't know your blood type. So the first question I ask is what your blood type is, and it will let me know if you're a potential. And there's a host of other things that are criteria for myself. I personally I like men without tattoos. That is a newer criteria, but I prefer, obviously I'm an OG, so I prefer to be with an O, and I prefer males without tattoos, and those who are compatible astrologically to myself. I prefer people who dance, who like to dance and like music. I have preferences, and there's nothing wrong with having preferences, but you should know genetic markers, because if you don't know that, you will have issues with them later after you are already fallen in love. Some of you fall in love very, very beautifully, and you want to make sure that you want to pick a potential partner that can make a masterful starseed. I'm just saying, I'm not judging anyone with tattoos. Please don't take this. Everybody has their own mating criteria. Everybody has their dating criteria. That is what I choose. I choose to engage with people who are tattooless. I don't have tattoos, so I'm only asking for what I am. I require what I am. So if I'm without tattoos, it's okay for me to require people without tattoos. That's all. It's all. You can't ask, a lot of times you shouldn't ask what you can't relate or give yourself. So that being said, tattoos is not necessarily, and again, I'm not going to negate someone totally, but it's something that is part of my criteria, and that's a newer part of the criteria. And obviously an OG, which is an O. So, I don't have any tats either, so I feel the same. Yeah, I mean, you can, like I said, you should only require what you can offer. I'm real fair like that. So, so anyway, family, I want you to have a masterful evening. If you're going to engage sexually now, go into it masterfully, go into it with a sense of knowledge and purpose. And of course, if any beautiful babies are created tonight, just know that it should be a choice and not just something that happens, just off the bat. I don't like when men bash. Oh, who's bashing males? No one's bashing males on here. I love our females aren't witches. She's bashing patriarchal men. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm speaking of a certain type of entity. We have wonderful males. We need to be balanced in how, um, balanced in how we receive a message. This message is not to criticize or bash anyone. This has to do with me speaking to certain males, certain patriarch males from the old Stoic regime that are utilizing our sea stars for their own demonic purposes, and without good intent, without proper, skill set, and many of them are gluttonous and just have zero to offer. And all I'm telling, all I'm saying, all I'm relaying. Let me. I have to change my words. All I'm doing is relaying to my wonderful sea stars is to be mindful of who they mate with, and they have a right to pick those who are healthy for them, who will wish well for them, and in a case of any children coming from the union, that it would be something wanted by both. That's it. That's it. So you can, it's, if you feel it's bashing, it could be something, it's coming from within, because that's not my intent. So if you realize, I think my guests are here. Anyway, I have to go. Something really yummy. I made some spinach, a quiche. So anyway, I'm a little late. Have fun this evening. Have masterful sex. Enjoy yourself. Go dancing. Watch great movies. Enjoy with your family. Do what you want to do. Whatever. Enjoy yourselves. Okay. So I just wanted to relay that message, and I wish I could make. I wish uploading wasn't so difficult, so I can, make this a little more masterfully and not all over the place. But you know how I do, so I keep it 1,000 in the way that I am. So I love you. I will talk to you soon, and Sheldon, you should seek psychological help. Peace, family. Mwah. Love you. Oh, where's the finish? Yay.